this video, I'm going to reveal to you the biggest unknown reason for visa denials. You surely don't know about this. And I only realized this from coaching so many students this summer. So recently, a few students reached out to me for coaching. They had been denied the F1 visa under Section 214B and they intended to go again. But this time, they wanted my help. Basically, in my coaching sessions, I tried to help students identify why they were denied and try to help them address those issues before they go again. In this video, I'm going to use the cases of two different people who were denied a visa and they couldn't understand why they were denied. If you look at the questions they were asked and the answers that they provided, you can actually agree with them that they didn't deserve to be denied a visa unless I tell you why they were denied. So I'll tell you the questions they were asked and then I'll tell you the answers that they gave, and then you can actually tell that they didn't deserve to be denied a visa. But then I'll also point out to you why I got to know how they were denied and all of those things. Now, if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel and consider turning on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Also consider giving the video a like. It helps the channel a lot and helps me bring you more of such videos. So I'll be starting with the first person. The first question was, what do you know about the city? Now, I don't think anyone will be denied a visa because they don't know much about the city. I don't think that is enough for anyone to be denied a visa. So let's put that one aside. The second question was, who is sponsoring your studies? She said her husband, and the description of what the husband does and all of that makes sense. So that is not the reason. The third question was, how long have you been teaching? She said 2 years. The next question was, how long have you been married? She said 10 years. Now, 10 years is such a long time that if you are married to somebody and you are leaving the person behind, you are not likely to remain in the US, beyond the duration of your program. So, which means that this is a good answer. The next question was, do you have any family in the US? She said no. The next question was, have you traveled outside your home country? She said no. Now, these are all the questions that she was asked and then she was denied a visa. Now, when you look at all these questions, clearly she didn't deserve to be denied a visa, right? Now let's look at the second person. This is how her visa interview went. First question, are you married? She said no. Have you been to the US before? She said no. Do you know anyone in the US? She said no. How will you finance your huge deficit? Now this deficit wasn't actually huge. It's just 25K and she's being sponsored by her dad. And it makes sense that somebody who is not married will be sponsored by the dad, right? The last question was, has your father sponsored anyone to the US before? She said no. Now when you look at all of this, you can clearly tell that she didn't deserve to be denied a visa, right? Unless I tell you why she was denied. Now I can even say that these people were denied a visa even before they were interviewed. For the first person, the fifth question was the reason for the denial, but the visa officer still asked the sixth question. I don't know, probably for two reasons, One of the reasons could be because the visa officer wanted to give the student the opportunity to say something that explains why the DX1C form was filled in the US. Another reason could be because the visa officer didn't want the student to feel he or she wasn't asked enough questions. Now, for the second person, the reason why she was denied was because the DX1C form was filled in Texas and she's going to school in Texas, the same place, right? And why is this important? Well, it is important because for each of these people, they indicated in the DX1C form that they don't know anyone in the US. And why is this still important? It is important because the visa officers can tell where the DX1C form was filled. Like, they have the exact location of where every single DX1C form is filled. This is something that students have to take note of. And how did I know this? Because I have a master's degree in IT and I know a lot about TCP/IP and IP addresses and all those stuff. So let me give you an example. Okay, let's say you live in Cape Coast, Ghana, right? And then you travel to Lagos, Nigeria. Now, when you go to Nigeria, you decided to log into your Facebook account. Now, because Facebook is familiar with you using your account in Cape Coast, Ghana, Facebook is going to send you an email or a warning to ask you if you are the same person using your account. And sometimes they will send you a code to enter the code to verify that you are the same person and all of that. How is Facebook able to know this? Well, it is very simple. Your IP address. Facebook knows where you are and all of that. And not just Facebook, the US government even has a more complicated system which is able to track all of these things. Wherever you fill a DX1C form has already been captured. The location of where you filled it has already been captured into their system. And that is why you should never let anyone outside where you live fill your DX1C form for you. This is a mistake that a lot of students are making, and they even have no idea that this is a problem. So my point is that you have to learn how to fill the DX1C form because it is not difficult. And if you still think it is very difficult to fill it and confusing and all of that, I actually have a full video on how to fill the DX1C form correctly. So you can use that video, follow along, and then fill your own DX1C form. If you are the one going for the interview, you have to fill it. Don't let anyone outside your location fill it for you. You have to take responsibility. I am tired of students letting people do all sort of things for them, and at the end of the day it affects them. Okay, don't do that. Take responsibility. If you cannot fill the DX1C form, then it means you cannot even study in the US, because US education requires a lot of research and all of that, and there will be language barrier and all of that. So if you cannot even read simple things and then fill it out yourself, then you probably are not ready to come here. So please fill it yourself. This is very important. I discovered this, and there are so many students making the same mistakes. And so basically this is what I've discovered in my coaching sessions. And for the first lady, when I told her that the person who filled the DX1C form in the first, like when she was going for the first interview, is not supposed to fill it out for her again, she wasn't happy, and she was like, the person will know I understand and all of that. Please, those of you in the US, you can't do that. If you have found this helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone who is preparing for the interview.